So guys, my plans were to sit down and talk about this Ice Golem tournament, which we are going to do, but as I was looking at these tournaments, I realized that the Classic Arena one just ended. The Champion Chase, I got everything, no problem. Let's see. I bet you guys already know what's about to be said. The Fire Knight one, I got everything, no problem. And then for some reason, the last few days, I haven't been doing much Arena. I was going to do it last night, but I ended up falling asleep. And guess what? Plarium, in their absolute ruthlessness, requires us to do every single event to get this rare champion. You miss one, it's done. You have to either go in there and open some mystery shards, get lucky with some ancient shards, or just throw in the towel on the actual fusion event. I think this is a terrible, terrible system, because now I may have went ahead and finished the fusion, but now I'm gonna have to find a different route. Pretty crappy. I'm gonna try to finish the other events. I planned on going for the fusion until I fell asleep last night. Rip sleep. But either way, guys, let's talk about the Gaellen Pact only Ice Golem tournament. So if you're not doing the fusion, like me, maybe now, this is gonna be a pretty good event. Now, if you're going for the fusion, you may not have time or want to do this simply because there's no fusion rewards in this event. Also, the top reward right here, these 5 mortal essences, I think they're called. I don't really know exactly, but it's kind of bad, to be honest. What is this? Let's see. Doesn't immortal soul essence. Either way, it's kind of bad only being 5. I mean, you can see right here a legendary 3-star split soul is 120 of those. So giving us 5 from this top reward for faction only, honestly, that's pretty garbage rewards. I'm gonna be 100% honest right off the bat. That is pretty trash. 5 of them, like maybe if it was like 20, not even necessarily 20, but more than 5. I mean, come on. It's going to take so long. That's only a 3-star split soul at that. Okay, enough complaining. Let's get into the actual stuff. However, see, I can't really buy this stuff. Like, I want to buy Ornn in a way, but if I do, then I'm not going to be able to buy the actual champion I want, which is Ray, one of my arena nukers. But either way, it's enough rambling, enough ranting. If you want to go for this, I'm going to show you guys some teams. We have the ability to win an Ancient Shard, which could be really good. And then we have an Ancient Shard over here, which may have that Pathfinder Kate for me. Most likely, it's an Ice Golem tournament and faction group specific. So it's going to be probably pretty easy to actually place in these top 5 positions to actually go ahead and get an extra Ancient Shard as well as some gear. So the 2 different teams that you can be using, that I'm going to be using, I'm going to show you guys the 2 ones I'm going to be deciding between, and then I'm going to try to give you a kind of breakdown on how Ice Golem actually works. So this team right here is the one I'm going to be using for my speed farms. All these champions, basically in the same gear I always use them in. I'll show you guys the actual builds for them. So the speeds and all the damage stuff's over here. Venomage is in regeneration plus immortal. Basically, if everybody dies, we get to the boss. Venomage is perfectly fine. Venomage can solo Ice Golem 24 and 20. 20 is going to be a lot easier, a lot less gear intensive overall for sure. I don't think I have a solo video for Venomage yet for Ice Golem, but I do have some for Dragon. So check those out if you want to see them. I'll go over her gear, but this is what she's currently wearing. And then Ugo, just my Hydra build, pretty simple. Just make sure you have good enough accuracy and speed is faster than Seer if you use Seer. But honestly, the waves on stage 20 are pretty squishy depending on where you're at in the game. You don't really need a Seer. It's just going to be a little bit slower. Kreela is just faster than Seer as well for the buffs. And then we have Seer with Savage gear. She doesn't have Cruel as well, unfortunately. And then Ragash. I think Ragash may be in just some normal gear. I don't even know, to be honest. Maybe Savage. Savage is going to be better. No, so just a normal gear set. Venomage is going to be the most important. This is Venomage's Masteries. If you guys want to copy this and do the exact same thing, this is my Venomage live server. This is what I usually use, whether I'm doing Dragon, solo in Faction Wars, solo in the actual Doom Tower Secret Room, whatever it may be, this build works out very, very well. However, I would like a little bit more HP, pushing to like 65,000, but this has been working so far. So this is the team that I'm going to be using. I just turned it to unlimited FPS, so it should be a decent speed. Let's make sure it's actually on unlimited FPS. We have RSL Helper running in the background. It's actually on 144. We'll hit to user 240. So there we go. Now we're running unlimited FPS. So this team working pretty good. The waves relatively squishy. If you do stage 24, that first wave is always a pain on Ice Golem, simply because the 2 female enemies cleanse themselves and put block debuffs as well as counterattack. And when you're using Venomage with no War Master, no actual damage, it's going to be pretty difficult. So with that said, on Ice Golem, a huge thing you want to consider is do not bring actual damage if you can't survive the hit. So no War Master, no high crit rate, crit damage, things like that. Now this team, I can bring champions who hit pretty hard, like Seer, no problem, because that big slam from the Ice Golem, even if the 2 minions are alive, my Venomage will survive, because Venomage should be full HP or very close to majority of the time, plus she's strong affinity, so we should be in a good spot. But if you don't have a champion built to sustain those big hits, the potential big hit from the Ice Golem with the 2 side guys still alive, then you're going to want to be very, very careful. My Venomage has survived every single hit I've seen so far, so be very mindful, especially if these people are squishy. You have no res champions, you should be perfectly fine. So this run's been about a minute 45, so not too bad. As far as like what you should be bringing, I'll go over everything right after this. I can show you all a Venomage solo run after we finish this. It's like 3 minutes or so, so it's not a very fast run, but it's consistent. It's a consistent run on stage 20. This is what I'm going to be running, because obviously we're limited as far as faction goes. 24 is what I typically do, but this is going to be perfectly fine. Not an issue whatsoever. So once we finish this match, I'm going to show you guys a few other options that you all can use that I've found in a little bit of testing I did that actually could be very, very good for whatever you're trying to run. So I'm just going to run this until I hit the 2100 points, get those 5 extra Immortal Soul Essences, and be good to go. Maybe farm 24. Ice Golem is actually a very good dungeon to farm in general. Reflex is a super, super valuable set. Honestly, Resistance has a few good pieces for me as well. I do like Resistance, but Reflex is very, very valuable in so many different areas of the game now, especially in Hydra specifically. But as far as some champions you can use, mainly, okay, so this part right here, if you skipped around in the video, hopefully you guys can find some big value in this, whether you're building a team now or in the future. The 2, arguably in my opinion, well actually there's no arguing because I'm be with myself. In my opinion, the 2 most important debuffs for Ice Golem is decrease attack. So decrease attack on the actual Ice Golem is going to save your life from actually getting destroyed from those big massive slams majority of the time, okay? So make sure you have decrease attack. It'll make the run so much more forgiving. The second most important debuff is poison. Poison is going to be so incredibly important. If you run a team that relies on things like Dragon, okay? So like in the Dragon dungeon, you're going to do enemy max HP. You're going to bring Cold Hearts. You're going to bring Septimuses, Royal Guards. You're going to bring champions like Seer for those big enemy max HP hits. But if you bring those same champions to Ice Golem and you don't kill, well, specifically a Cold Heart, and the Cold Heart shoots the Ice Golem with her Heartseeker, you're going to do a lot of damage to the Ice Golem. But the Ice Golem's going to have his 2 side minions still alive, and you're going to get absolutely wrecked with that big smash, especially if you're using a very squishy team. Poisons, on the other hand, they tick, and they don't cause the Ice Golem to do that big slam. So Poisons and Burn do the exact same thing as far as getting the Ice Golem's HP below those thresholds and not causing him to do that big slam. So Poisons and Burn are both amazing debuffs to actually bring against the Ice Golem. And in my opinion, like I said, the 2 most important debuffs. So one champion, a rare, or not, sorry, not a rare, an epic champion, Duke the Pierced. Where is he at? Is he Orc? Yep, he's an Orc. So Duke was a very solid champion. I took him out of the team because I actually wanted the Ice Golem to slam on my team at the end, because I actually want them to die except for Venomage, so then Venomage can do all the poisons, finish out the run. It'll be a little bit faster that way. But Duke the Pierced, absolutely incredible. Honestly, if you guys need to know what champions are good for Ice Golem, if you come to Hellheady's website, you can literally scroll down. So if you come down here, you should be able to see just debuffs. You find it pretty easy there as well, all the different debuffs in the game. But poison, decrease attack are going to be the ones you're going to want to look out for. And then obviously, as far as buffs, increase defense, strengthen, continuous heal, whatever you need, increase speed. Depending on the stage, you can even drop it down to stage 16. It's got pretty decent rewards as well. But as far as stage 20 plus, that, in my opinion, are the most valuable buffs and debuffs to get you actually through this and make it happen pretty easily. Obviously, your account, you'll know whether or not this actually makes sense. But as far as Venomage, let's make sure we're using all Gaellen Pact champions, okay? You have to make sure. If you're not using Gaellen Pact food, you're not getting the rewards for this tournament. So we use these 4 champions. So I'm going to go ahead and just speed this part up. It takes a little while. It's a little bit slow because she's not bringing any actual damage. But you guys saw her gear. If you have any questions whatsoever, leave them down below. If you all enjoy these videos, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It's very much appreciated. Let me know, are you all going for this tournament? I know we have the fusion going on. If you're tight on energy, probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But Maybe you need to do some champion training. Maybe you need to work up some of those Pathfinder Kates, or maybe you're in a situation like me and you missed out on a Pathfinder Kate. And now you have to make the decision on if you're going for the champion who would possibly be a Vault Guardian, or if you're just gonna have to sit it out. Hey, at least it happened early, I guess, and we're not waiting till the very end to realize, oh crap, I missed a rare champion. But guys, with that said, hope you all enjoy this run. I'm gonna hide my webcam and let you all enjoy the rest. Catch you all in the next video.